Okay, what's going on, everybody? My name is Mangg. Welcome back to Hanging with Mangg. I'm going to try to keep this stream short because I'm sure it's going to be pretty annoying to listen to. Yeah, I am not. I guess I'm not well, but it's a really annoying illness. Because the only thing it's affecting is my voice. And that's the one thing that I care about. Like, why couldn't I get an illness that's just like explosive diarrhea? Because then at least I could sit there with poop in my pants and still record an Exploring Series video. But no, I just can't. It just would not sound good. And so, this started on like Tuesday.
I'm in.
Where you know, you get like a tickle in the back of your throat and you're like, oh, fuck.
I like being near the ocean.
And so I was like, okay, usually this shit lasts like 2 days. You know, I do my recordings on Friday. I'm sure I'll be fine. And then it just kept going. And Wednesday was like the worst day where I was like actually ill. But yeah, after that it's just like, okay, I got some mucus and then this voice thing, and that's where we're at.
Your miscalculations will cost you everything.
All right, thanks, Intelligent Nonsense. So Friday was definitely like a no-go as far as recording. And I'm like, all right, I'll make a post on Patreon, and, you know, hopefully tomorrow it's all good. And then Saturday wasn't good. I'm like, okay, well, hopefully Sunday. And here we are, and it's still not good.
Barrier initialized. On the objective, gather at this position.
So now I had to go ahead and post and just be like, yeah, it's not happening. I mean, I probably could like force a recording just to have a video for tomorrow, but it wouldn't be the normal Exploring Series sound, and I think it would just bother most people, and there's just no reason for me to force it. So instead I'm just going to have
Actuating the barrier.
the combined video for Mangg and Karar tomorrow, which I was hoping to save for next January so I could take the month off again, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, it's all just really frustrating. Because I don't know how to like shake it, you know, like I just sit here all day. I don't ever speak to anyone. I don't record any, you know, I don't say anything. My mouth is closed. And I was like, okay, just don't overdo it and then you'll get better. But no, that didn't happen. So I don't know. It's frustrating. Anyways, this week on this channel we had more Wrath of the Righteous, plenty more Pathfinder, and Genshin Impact.
Strikes him down.
And it's actually pretty awesome nowadays, as far as this channel is concerned. I'm averaging like 40 to 50 views a video, which is really a far cry from a few years ago, where I was averaging like 12. Obviously, not much, but I mean, that's getting to be a nice little community we have of people that are interested in watching my stuff. Normally, when I sound normal.
This is the final fight. Let's do whatever it takes.
You got better in the middle and then somehow got worse again. Oh boy. I mean, this is probably the longest illness of any kind that I've had in like 10 years. Normally I'm sick for like 2 days. You've been trying to figure out the dynamics of Forgotten Realms, since a lot of D&D books are based on.
Better world.
Yeah, I am not an expert on that. Like, D&D lore has always been kind of like whatever. Because whenever we play D&D, you know, the DM just makes up his own setting. And we have our own gods and our own cities and our own, you know, all that sort of stuff. So. Yeah, so we, on Wednesday we had Two Brothers Play, where we started up another randomizer between Secret of Evermore and It'll Come to Me. It'll Come to Me. Pokemon. Yeah, he was playing Pokemon. And I was sick that day, if you couldn't tell. So I was not really into it. And we had to cancel. We had to cancel yesterday because Lego was working. But it was good because I was not in a mood to stream for 5 hours anyways. And so that's that. The Resident Evil 4 remake came out to really like massive acclaim. But I'm gonna save it for October because I like to do one big horror game every October, and that's one that I'm not like upset having to play through. So it should be good. There was another game. Oh, the new Star Wars game. That's coming out pretty soon.
Think I'd ever let you down?
I probably would like to do a Let's Play of that, but I just have so much stuff that it's just sitting on my hard drive.
Blocking you.
So I don't know. Have I looked into the Wanderer's Library wiki as well, or do I think SCP covers it? It's a different perspective. It's a different like.
A constructive use of space. I am blocking you.
What am I trying to say? Tone. It's a different tone. Wanderer's Library, the wiki is very not lighthearted, but it's much more like romanticized, I guess. It's generally not like dark horror kind of stuff. It's more fantastical. Whereas the Wanderer's Library perspective you get from SCP is from the Foundation's perspective, where it's kind of like an abomination, you know, it needs to be contained. It's a thing of darkness. It's an abnormality.
Get this done.
So the whole tone on the Wanderer's Library is definitely different. And the tales and articles and stuff you get over there is just kind of different. I think at this point I'm not really going to delve into it in video form, but
It's clean. Copy?
yeah. Like Avalon. Yeah, I think if you like Avalon and that sort of tone, there's probably a bunch of stuff on Wanderer's Library you'd be interested in. Yeah.
2, 1. Attack.
Right. So, Mom Jewel and Karar combined videos, which you'll be seeing tomorrow. And I also released SCP Foundation versus 40K. And I was so like just, oh god, I can't imagine what the comments are going to be like. And I really have not read many of the comments on that video. Bullshit. But from the sound of it, it's been pretty good. The feedback's been pretty good. It's just been like an interesting video and an interesting discussion. And I did see a bunch of comments saying how like smart of an idea it was to sort of bridge between SCP and 40K, and some people were like, oh, you know, I didn't really know anything about 40K. I didn't really have any interest in 40K, but now I want to know a lot more about it after watching this video. So that's awesome. You didn't see anything inflammatory? Well, that's good. That's really good. That's mostly what I was worried about. So there's been a lot of comments. I mean, just looking at the number of comments, it's been crazy. And so hopefully that really helps get it into the algorithm, get it into the recommendations. Because that was my big hope for that video. My fans on Exploring Series seem like one of the least hostile communities. Generally. I know I've seen some SCP authors that have brought up complaints about the comment section because, like, you know, when dealing with like wokeness and stuff, there's always pretty much any channel on YouTube. If you try to go for something that's sort of like inclusive, there's going to be some hateful comments. But yeah, generally they seem okay. So,
Time to save the world? Game?
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that people are enjoying that. But yeah, I also put out my announcement that I'm switching to 40K. You know, half the time. That was pretty major. That sent some ripples through the community. On one of the SCP discords I'm in, there's a lot of discussion about like, oh, is SCP dying? You know. There was because I don't know the state of the wiki. Like I obviously I go to the wiki a lot to read articles, but I'm not a part of the community. I'm not a part of the administration. I don't know their stats or anything like that. But apparently the wiki is also suffering from a downturn in readership. And this isn't the first time that that's happened, so they're not overly worried. Damn it. But yeah, to have two major SCP content creators announce that they're moving away from SCP in like the same month, it's pretty major. And SCP Illustrated tweeted at me sort of words of encouragement, because he recently announced that he's moving on. Surprisingly, I don't think the Volgan said anything about it, which I would have thought he would have said something, because it's kind of a big... I mean, as far as this community, specifically SCP on YouTube, I'm not like a small player. And I know that, I mean, I mentioned him in the video and showed his social blade chart. So I'm sure he's well aware of that, because one of the last times we spoke on DMs, he seemed very conscientious of his like YouTube performance. So I wonder if he's feeling that. Anyways, just trying to keep this short. So yeah, overall, I did read a lot of comments on that video, my announcement video, and those all seemed very positive. Certainly some bittersweet kind of feelings people are having, because a lot of my fans are SCP fans. But yeah, a lot of them are also 40K fans, and it seems like a lot of people are really excited, and a lot of people were happy that I wasn't cutting it out entirely. So overall, I think it's a smart move, and we'll see how it all goes. Right. So speaking of 40K, I have another announcement. This one is kind of hush-hush. Nothing's set in stone. I don't know if I even should talk about it. Although, obviously, like, you know, nothing's been signed, so I don't think it really matters. But, you know, don't go around and talk about it, I guess. Privileged information for Hanging with Mangg viewers. But anyways, the other day, Friday, I woke up to a DM from someone named well, I won't name him, but from someone claiming to be a representative of Owlcat Games. And my immediate thought was like, this is a scam, this is a hoax, something's not right, because usually all sort of business deals and stuff is done through email. I've never gotten a business deal like this through Discord. And more, Owlcat Games, if you don't know, they are the developer behind Pathfinder Kingmaker and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, two games which I have been insanely obsessed with over the last month and a half, and I have not been secretive about my obsession with those games. I'm still replaying Wrath of the Righteous right now. And they are working on a Warhammer 40,000 game titled Rogue Trader. And I was aware of this. I had mentioned it. And I'm excited for it, certainly, because I love these Pathfinder games, and it's 40K, and it's going to be awesome. But this guy messaged me and said that he heard about my channel's recent switch of theme and thought he'd contact me in case I'm interested in any 40K collab with them. And yeah, so I'm like, okay, wow. If this is legit, that is amazing, because I've been completely obsessed with Wrath of the Righteous. And he said he could easily provide some collab opportunities for that as well, but I don't want to get into Pathfinder lore or anything like that. I think 40K, that's a good enough fit. And so he's like, did you have a chance to try the Rogue Trader Alpha yet? And I'm like, I didn't even know there was an alpha. I'm still replaying Wrath of the Righteous. I'm very interested in the game, though. And he's like, okay, well, let's start with that. And he sends me an alpha code on GOG. Just like right away. And that's normally like $100. And I haven't even like agreed to anything. I just said that I love Wrath of the Righteous and I'm excited for Rogue Trader. And so he sends me the alpha code. Sorry. And so then we got to talking a little bit more. Apparently he was not really aware of my channel at all. He didn't really know what my channel was about or what I did or anything like that. Apparently one of his colleagues told him about the 40K switch. And so he's the community manager, so he reached out. So one of his colleagues must be a fan of the Exploring series, because otherwise, I mean, how widespread could that announcement have been? That it would get to the ears of some random video game developer. I'm not that big of a name. It's not like, oh, Markiplier's going to start doing 40K stuff. Like, okay, everyone would hear about that. I really don't know. So I assume his there's some sort of fan on the staff there. So we got to start talking about like what sort of collabs we could do and things like that. And from the sound of it, it's very open-ended. Basically, anything that I could think of to tie in Rogue Trader, they're kind of on board with. They can provide game keys. They can do some interviews if we want. Exclusive reveals. I could do some exclusive reveals about this game on the channel, which would be pretty fucking awesome. I can make lore videos about it. They can provide me a whole bunch of artwork for the game, including some that hasn't even been revealed yet. They can provide me like in-game footage that they have, you know, all sorts of things. Whatever I want to do. And I was like, okay, do you have a timeline for this? And they said, probably the best points would be sometime before beta, which is in late spring, which is a little soon, but you know, it could happen. Or before the release, which he actually did tell me when they're thinking of the release, but he said this is not set in stone, so please don't distribute it anywhere. So I'm not going to tell you, but that's pretty shocking again that he's like handing off this privileged information. And I said, okay, well, I'm starting up 40K in like a couple weeks, and I want to take the time to really play through the alpha. because, you know, it's kind of important. And then he invited me to like their private sort of content creator community Discord server, where they give out early access keys and gifts and stuff. There's only like, you know, 100 people in there, so that's nice. Sorry, I've willed this into existence through enthusiasm. I mean, it's I haven't even started making the 40K videos. I just made an announcement, and I couldn't have gotten a better message. Like, if I had to pick any video game company right now that would message me about collaboration, this would be probably at the top of the list. The company that makes like these amazing games that I've been obsessed with for the last month and a half, and they're working on a 40K game. It's like just perfect. So I downloaded the alpha, of course, and I fired it up, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play the shit out of this. And then I looked around, and apparently there's no like NDA or anything like that. Like, you can freely stream and record it. And I was like, well, shit, I might as well record it then. Because then, yeah, we can talk through everything, and it'll be kind of cool. But I'm not I'm not in a position to record right now. So as soon as I get better, I'm going to start recording the alpha and get that uploaded. But yeah, it's super exciting. It's really just, I really hope it all works out. I don't have any ideas currently as to what sort of videos I'd want to make, or, you know, would I want to just do like sponsor shout outs and giveaways, or would I want to actually make lore videos tied to the game? I don't know. We didn't discuss any sort of like monetary compensation or rates or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't know what their policy is about that. I think if I were to make dedicated lore videos about the game specifically, I think there'd have to be some sort of exchange of financials, because that's kind of a big commitment, rather than just doing like a 45-second shout out. And even that, you know, usually you get paid a decent amount. I mean, I really love the company. I love the games and all that. So, obviously I'm on board with quite a bit, but yeah, I don't normally do sponsor shout outs for or anything like that, because I don't like to interrupt the videos and break up the flow and ruin immersion and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, we'll do something. So that was a pretty awesome message. All right, I'm almost at my limit here. And so yeah, very exciting stuff. Yeah, that's what I was telling my mom when I told her about it. The thing with SCP is that it's not like a commercial entity. Like, there's no businesses really making large amounts of profit off of SCP. There's you know, these indie studios and things like that, and indie sort of merch companies and things, but there's no big studios making commercial profits off of SCP, because it's just, the license is too restrictive. Whereas 40K is very much a commercial entity. There's books, there's movies, there's games, there's, you know, merchant, you know, it's everything. So from a financial point of view, it's potentially far more lucrative to be involved with a commercial entity than a Creative Commons entity. That's not at all why I'm switching or anything like that, but it's something to consider. And already, I mean, I've gotten, you know, sponsorship collaboration offers that I'm very much interested in, other than a generic like NordVPN or Raid Shadow Legends. Like, this is a collaboration that I think is awesome, that I really want to do, and would never have really happened with SCP. Certainly not to the same degree. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what the future will bring? So yeah. All right. Yeah, I think that'll wrap us up. So more Wrath of the Righteous coming this week and many future weeks, followed by Pathfinder Kingmaker. So don't forget Manscaped. Yeah. God. I get a lot of that shit. I get a lot of those offers and just never reply to any of them. More Genshin Impact. That'll go on for quite a while. As soon as I am better, I will start recording the Rogue Trader Alpha, and I'll just start uploading that on the side. And Mangg plays the best games of all time. There's been stuff added, like, since I went through and down the list and recorded them one by one. They keep adding a few more games. So I actually have now skipped over a couple. The one that I just skipped was Ridge Racer. I don't know if I want to record a video for Ridge Racer, because I imagine it's going to be a lot like the other fucking racing games that I've recorded. But the other one was Samurai Showdown. And that might be a little bit more interesting. It's another early fighting game, but I don't know, maybe. Trying to think of any others that I skipped. No, I did that. Oh, Arkanoid. That was added. And Ultima 4 was added. I don't think I did that. Battle Zone, maybe I didn't do that one. Combat, that was added. They keep adding stuff. The list is getting longer and longer. I might never finish it, but no, I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyways, Samurai Showdown is different because of how it's more dependent on getting just a few really big hits in instead of combos. Oh, that sounds kind of interesting then, because I don't do well with combos. And yeah, so that's that. Mom Jewel and Karar combined video will be coming out tomorrow. And that's it. That's it. All right, I need to rest my voice again, but I had to do a hanging with Mangg. Couldn't miss it. Thank you all for listening. Painfully. My name is Mangg. This has been Hanging with Mangg. I'll see you fine folks next week.